The Jennifer Hudson Show, known for its warm and inviting atmosphere, welcomed country music superstar Luke Bryan for what was anticipated to be a fun, light-hearted interview. The set was vibrant, with the audience buzzing in anticipation of hearing from the American Idol judge and chart-topping artist. Jennifer Hudson, with her signature charm and infectious energy, opened the conversation with her usual mix of humor and genuine curiosity. She began by asking Luke about his recent projects, his role on American Idol, and his life as a family man. The audience was eating it up, laughing at Luke's stories about his kids and his farm life, which included hilarious anecdotes about his goats and chickens. The chemistry between Jennifer and Luke seemed effortless at first, as they traded playful banter about his country lifestyle and her city roots. Fans watching at home could feel the warmth through their screens, with social media already lighting up with comments about how Luke's down-to-earth personality was a perfect match for Jennifer's vibrant hosting style. However, as the conversation shifted to more serious topics, the mood began to change subtly. Jennifer, known for asking thoughtful questions, brought up the evolving landscape of country music and its growing diversity. She mentioned how artists like Jelly Roll and Darius Rucker have been breaking barriers, and she asked Luke for his thoughts on the responsibility of established artists to support new voices in the genre. Luke's response was initially measured, acknowledging the importance of inclusivity, but he seemed to hesitate, choosing his words carefully. The audience sensed a slight shift in his demeanor, as if he was caught off guard by the question. Jennifer, picking up on this, pressed it further, asking about specific comments Luke had made in the past about the direction of country music. Her tone remained respectful, but there was a clear intent to dive deeper into the topic. This moment marked the beginning of an unexpected tension, as Luke's smile faded slightly, and he shifted in his seat. The conversation, which had started as a casual chat, was now heading into uncharted territory, with the audience and viewers at home starting to sense that something big was about to unfold. As the interview progressed, the tension between Luke Bryan and Jennifer Hudson became more palpable. Jennifer, with her knack for engaging her guests on meaningful topics, continued to explore the theme of representation in country music. She referenced the growing presence of artists from diverse backgrounds and asked Luke how he felt about the criticism that country music has historically been less inclusive than other genres. Luke responded with a mix of defensiveness and frustration, suggesting that the genre has always been about storytelling, regardless of who's telling the story. He cited his own journey, growing up in rural Georgia, as an example of the authenticity he believes country music represents. But Jennifer, ever the skilled interviewer, didn't let the topic slide. She brought up specific instances where Luke's comments on modern country music had sparked debate online, particularly his remarks about bro country and its impact on the genre's traditional roots. Luke's face tightened, and his responses grew shorter, signaling discomfort. The audience, initially captivated by the lively exchange, began to shift in their seats, sensing the growing unease. Jennifer, maintaining her composure, tried to steer the conversation toward a more positive note, asking Luke about his mentorship on American Idol and how he helps new artists navigate the industry. But Luke seemed to take this as another challenge, interpreting her question as a critique of his role in the industry. He fired back, saying he's always supported new talent but felt that the industry was being unfairly scrutinized for issues that exist in every genre. The room grew quiet, with only the hum of the studio lights audible. Social media was already exploding with clips of the exchange, with fans divided, as some praising Jennifer for holding Luke accountable, others defending Luke's perspective as a veteran artist. The tension reached a boiling point when Jennifer asked a pointed question about whether Luke felt he had a responsibility to address privilege in country music. Luke's response was sharp, saying he didn't think it was fair to single out country music when every industry has its flaws. The audience gasped softly, and Jennifer, though still professional, looked taken aback by the intensity of his tone. The confrontation that would later dominate headlines was now in full swing. Luke Bryan, visibly frustrated, leaned forward in his chair, his voice rising as he defended his stance. He argued that country music is about heart and soul, not politics or social agendas, and that he's tired of artists being put in a box where they have to answer for the entire industry's history. Jennifer, maintaining her calm demeanor, tried to clarify her question, emphasizing that she wasn't accusing him personally but rather exploring how influential figures like him can shape the future of the genre. Her words were measured, but Luke seemed to interpret them as a direct challenge. He interrupted her, saying, "I'm not here to debate this stuff. I make music for my fans, not to check boxes for what people think I should say." The audience was stunned, with some murmuring in surprise at the intensity of the moment. Jennifer, ever the professional, smiled tightly and tried to pivot back to a lighter topic, mentioning Luke's upcoming tour. But Luke wasn't having it. He stood up abruptly, shaking his head, and said, "You know what? I'm done with this." The studio fell silent as he removed his mic and walked off the set, leaving Jennifer momentarily speechless. The cameras captured every second of the dramatic exit, and the clip would soon become one of the most viral moments of the year. Social media platforms like X erupted with reactions, with hashtags like #LukeBryanWalkOff and #JudgeShow trending within minutes. Some fans praised Luke for standing his ground, arguing that he was being unfairly pushed into a corner, while others criticized him for what they saw as an overreaction to a fair question. Jennifer, recovering quickly, addressed the audience with her trademark grace, saying, "Well, we all have our moments, don't we? Let's keep the love going." Her ability to handle the situation with poise only amplified the contrast with Luke's abrupt departure, sparking further debate online about who was in the right. In the aftermath of Luke Bryan's dramatic walk-off, the internet became a battleground of opinions. Fans and critics alike dissected every moment of the confrontation, with some outlets speculating that Luke felt ambushed by Jennifer's line of questioning. Others argued that Jennifer was simply doing her job as a host, pushing for meaningful dialogue on a topic that's been a hot-button issue in country music for years. Clips of the exchange were shared endlessly, with commentary channels on YouTube and TikTok breaking down the body language, tone, and context of the moment. Some pointed out that Luke's frustration seemed to stem from a broader exhaustion with the scrutiny he's faced as a prominent figure in country music, especially after years of being asked to weigh in on controversies like the genre's lack of diversity or its commercial evolution. Meanwhile, Jennifer's fans rallied around her, praising her for asking tough questions while maintaining her professionalism. Posts on X highlighted her ability to stay composed, with one user writing, "Jennifer Hudson handled that like a queen." Luke needs to grow up. On the other side, Luke's supporters argued that he was entitled to push back against what they saw as an unfair narrative. They pointed to his long history of mentoring new artists on American Idol and his support for up-and-coming country stars as evidence that he's not the problem. The debate even spilled into mainstream media, with outlets like CNN and Entertainment Weekly covering the story and analyzing its implications for the music industry. Some reports suggested that Luke's walk-off wasn't just about the interview but reflected deeper tensions in his career, including the pressure of balancing his public persona with the expectations of an increasingly vocal fanbase. Amid the chaos, a few voices called for reconciliation, noting that both Luke and Jennifer are beloved figures who likely didn't intend for the moment to escalate as it did. As the dust began to settle, both Luke Bryan and Jennifer Hudson took steps to address the incident, though their approaches were markedly different. Luke, who had remained silent on social media for the first 24 hours after the walk-off, finally posted a statement on Instagram. He acknowledged that he'd let his emotions get the better of him and said he had nothing but respect for Jennifer and her show. He explained that he felt overwhelmed by the direction of the conversation and didn't want to say something he'd regret. "I'm not perfect, and I'm learning every day," he wrote, adding that he hoped to move forward with positivity. The statement was met with mixed reactions. Some fans appreciated his accountability, while others felt it didn't go far enough to address the specifics of the confrontation. Jennifer, meanwhile, took the high road during her next episode, opening with a heartfelt monologue about the importance of open dialogue and understanding. She didn't mention Luke by name but spoke about how everyone has moments of frustration and that her show is a place for honesty and growth. Behind the scenes, sources close to the show revealed that Jennifer reached out to Luke privately, hoping to clear the air. According to a report from People magazine, the two had a productive conversation and even discussed the possibility of Luke returning to the show for a follow-up interview. This news sparked hope among fans that the drama could lead to a meaningful resolution. On X, posts began circulating about a potential reunion episode, with fans speculating about how the two could turn the moment into a teaching opportunity. Some even suggested that Luke and Jennifer collaborate on a musical project to show there were no hard feelings. The incident also prompted broader discussions about the role of talk shows in addressing tough topics and whether celebrities should be expected to engage in these conversations on live TV. The Luke Bryan and Jennifer Hudson confrontation ultimately became more than just a viral moment. It sparked a larger conversation about the state of country music and the responsibilities of its biggest stars. In the weeks following the incident, industry insiders weighed in, with some praising Jennifer for shining a light on an important issue and others cautioning against putting artists on the spot in ways that feel confrontational. The event also highlighted the power of social media in amplifying these moments, as fans on platforms like X continued to dissect the exchange and share their own experiences with the genre. Luke, for his part, returned to his American Idol duties and focused on promoting his upcoming tour. But the incident remained a talking point in interviews. He leaned into his signature humor, joking in one appearance that he's never walking off another set, unless it's to get a burger. Jennifer, meanwhile, continued to host her show with her trademark warmth, welcoming a diverse range of guests and keeping the conversation about inclusivity alive. The incident, while shocking at the time, ultimately became a catalyst for reflection within the country music community, with artists like Jelly Roll and Darius Rucker speaking out about the need for more open dialogue. The viral clip of Luke's walk-off continued to circulate, but so did the narrative of reconciliation, as fans rallied around the idea that both Luke and Jennifer could use this moment to bridge gaps rather than widen them. The story, though rooted in tension, ended on a hopeful note, with the potential for both stars to turn a challenging moment into an opportunity for growth and understanding. As one fan on X put it, Luke and Jen are both legends. Let's move past the drama and make some music together.